What's going on, everybody? It's SJG. Welcome to WSSU Ram Nation. Go ahead and hit that like button, guys. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. I've got a goal to hit 500 subscribers before we get to by the time we get to my birthday is November 2nd. Let's go ahead and hit that 500 subscriber mark so we can continue to build out this community. Again, yeah, we're just excited. It is now Thursday, September 5th at 1:25 a.m. This is like the fourth time I'm recording this, so hopefully it's the last time. But in any event, HBCU football is here, and the Rams, WSSU, are heading back to East Greensboro for the first time since 2010 to take on those mangy mutts of North Carolina A&T. So I thought it would be fun to see what some of my fellow HBCU creators, journalists, analysts, if you will, what they thought about this game, how they're seeing this game. I know how I see it, having been up close to the rivalry, but I want to give them their chance too. So I decided I would check out some of the responses that people were giving, and so this is from a couple of folks that I check out. So here's what we got from HBCU sports.
Winston-Salem State any chance against North Carolina A&T this weekend? Chris said no. Move on. No,
probably not.
No disrespect to Ram Nation, but that game hasn't been competitive in many a year, and it won't be competitive this year.
Chris. So this is Chris Stevens. He and I, we have connected in this internet world. He's one of the big first supporters of HBCU Game Day. He's a trained journalist, Delaware State. Good brother, really great. He's done some work for us. He is doing great work over there at HBCU Sports. But brother, that's why this pains me so much. Chris, I know, there's a lot to talk to. There's a lot to talk about. And so it's tough. I know, I get it. Maybe you didn't have a lot of prep time. But Chris, I'm going to need you to get it together, man, because you say that this hasn't been competitive in a long time. We haven't played them since 2010, dog. And do you know who won that time? The Rams. And do you know who won 3 out of the last 5 times we played them? The Rams. So come on, Chris. I expected that more out of you. Let's go to Jared Hoffman, Bowie State grad, see what he has to say.
The only thing I'll say is that it's the weakest North Carolina A&T team.
Is it the weakest that we played in a long time? I don't know. Again, we haven't played them since 2010, and they were pretty bad then. 3-win team that year. Is this that bad? We'll see.
They've played in a long time, but I think they can possibly have a better performance against them than they've had in years past. But in terms of getting the win, I'm not too sure about that.
I didn't have a lot to disagree with Jared. Again, I don't care if you say North Carolina team's going to win. I expect you to say that because, they are the Division I team, right? They've got more scholarships. They've got more resources, all of that stuff. I get it. But come on now, to say that they're, as long as if you say it's a close game and they win, I get it. Next we get to inside the HBCU Sports Lab, another place that I really enjoy. I'm on there sometimes as a guest as well. I think I will be on there on Thursday as well, so maybe we'll get a chance to chat about it. But here we go. My friend Charles Bishop. Let's go.
Right. State got the win, so they feel a little good. So, Charles, what do you say about this Winston-Salem State?
I know the Fighting Gators are feeling good right now, but I think
the Fighting Stephen J. Gators. I'm really, in this space. I look at it as a sign of respect that people put my name with Winston-Salem State. But come on, dog. Come on, Charles. We have a storied history of HBCU football over the last 50 years. Come on now, don't reduce us to the Fighting Stephen J. Gators. I appreciate it, but come on.
They look pretty good. Week 1. I mean, they dropped the game, but there were things I was like, okay, this is looking a little bit more like the A&T that I kind of remember for a few years back. They were able to run the ball a little bit there and made some plays defensively. They were flying around. I really liked the way they were really flying around all over the place. Offensive line does look strong, just as Edward Moore was saying there in the chat. So I think A&T should come out on top in this. handily.
I don't know.
Whoa, Chuck. This is a little handily. Come on, Chuck. That was a little animated. That was a little extra. Like, come on, Charles. I saw North Carolina A&T against Wake Forest, and they did look better than they did. But is it better? Like, so I have a baby girl. So is it better when she's teething? So is it better when she dribbles on? Just because she's dribbling on her bib instead of on her shirt now, how much better is that? I don't know. I feel like A&T's getting a lot of credit here. As we can see, is a theme still. So let's go.
So is Jamie Walker and Dave are going to have fits if they don't get it done, and Stephen Gaither's going to make sure that they never hear the end of it. Mike, any last word that you have on Winston-Salem State and A&T?
No, not much word. It'll be A&T. Victor.
See, it's a little too much laughing for me, dog. It's a little too much laughing for me. Make your pick. Make your pick, Mike. Make your pick. I get it. I'm not going to do you like a lot of people do me. When they start talking about your team as an analyst, then you start pulling out what their team did. I'm not going to mention the fact that y'all lost to Texas Southern for the first time in a long time. I'm not going to mention that. You got your opinion. You're entitled to it.
Cute. Point blank. We're reaching to try to find a reason, but it'll be A&T. Point.
We're talking about it because it's a game that matters. It's not a SWAC game. It's not a MEAC game. It's not Al Benny, but it matters.
Hey,
Dalen Lee looked impressive.
All right, HBCU
BJ Jones.
HBCU Nightly, another place that I'm a contributor on as well. I frequent quite a bit. Really enjoy talking with these guys and gals. Really fun. A lot of respect for everybody on the panel. Let's see what they had to say.
Jones, what say you, sir?
Oh man, this gonna hurt me to say this because I usually like to roll with the fighting Stephen J. Gaithers, but I think the Aggies, man, get it done. I think North.
BJ Jones, a former Southern University defensive back. He knows about WSSU legacy. Terrence Graves was his position coach. He played under Pete Richardson, so he has respect for WSSU. So
on the A&T, man, in the return of this stored rivalry gets the first dub on with the rivalry being back. So
ODB said Aggies.
Aggie pride.
400 trillion points.
Look, man, I should fill up.
Dave, we already know what it is. Once you got that loud ass A&T jacket on, typical Aggie arrogance. I get it. When you go to the farm school, I know y'all are like obsessed with size. Y'all are the largest HBCU. Y'all have had a run, but last year you were 1-10. Clearly, y'all haven't had enough losing to humble you yet. I don't know that there will be enough. Maybe we'll see on Saturday. We don't know. Let's continue.
The audio from Troy.
Dave, I don't gotta ask you.
Yeah, we're gonna cover whatever spread y'all have.
Banks, what you got,
Let me
dog?
tell you something. From ever since I was in the womb, my dad told me how much he hated. I mean, he don't listen. He's really a lover and not a fighter, but he hated. He despised A&T. Then he couldn't believe back later going into the 90s that his former head coach then went to A&T to coach there. Now he has great rapport with his head coach, but he still doesn't like A&T. I, as his son, can never, ever, ever pick A&T when they play each other. So therefore, I'm choosing Winston-Salem State Teachers College, also known as.
And you're going to be wrong too, but it's okay. I appreciate the pride, man.
I like the way you do, baby.
My man Banks, you are good. You are good on 601 South MLK Drive. Son of a Ram. You went to Morgan State, but there's a Morgan State WSSU connection. Big House Gaines came from Morgan State down to WSSU. The rest is history. My bear brother. I respect it. You all right with me. Let's continue.
Business, brother.
Let's go Ramley, baby.
Y'all, do y'all recognize?
I hate y'all. I do anything to replace y'all.
Let's go, Ramley.
Herb, what say you, my brother?
Oh man. Winston-Salem State looked really, really good this past weekend, but I got to go with A&T. They look pretty sharp in the first half of that Wake Forest game, and I think their growth continues this game. It's going to be close, but I think they pull it out.
Zach?
No breakdown.
My man Herb. Alabama State grad, really passionate about HBCU basketball and HBCU bands. Solid. Again, you don't have to agree with me. You don't have to say that Winston-Salem State is going to win the game. I get you. Again, I understand why you would say that they wouldn't. But don't expect this to be a blowout. Do not expect this to be a blowout. This will not be a blowout. It won't. Let's continue.
Needed A&T by 40.
As far as
this one right here, yeah, this one kind of, yeah, this one right here. See, ooh, it almost got me. It almost got me. My brother Zach, I respect your FCS thing. I get it. You're Mr. FCS, and you think that all the FCS teams shouldn't even be playing the D2s, and if they do, they need to win by 80 and all of that good stuff. I know you did pick Virginia Union and you did pick Virginia State. Okay, come on. By 40, that's disrespectful. That is disrespectful. This is HBCU football, right? This D1, D2 thing, yeah, it matters to a certain point. You got more scholarships. You got all that stuff. But beyond that, there is an intersection. Our worlds collide all the time. There are Rams right now. You're a Ram right now. You might be in the bed with your significant other who is an Aggie. You may be shopping with them. You may be doing whatever. So it's just a little bit different around here. It gets the blood going a little bit. So D1, D2 doesn't matter as much. I'll tell you this much, Zach. I'm real close to saying that when you come to North Carolina, your cookout pass is revoked. It's revoked in Winston-Salem for sure, and in the 704 where a lot of the Rams reside. Right now, your privileges are on hold till further notice. You better get them your cookout privileges at Greensboro.
What?
Then they trash.
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as I'm concerned, as it pertains to this game, I couldn't hate two schools more. So,
you ain't gotta pick nobody, man.
But there's one that ekes out over the other.
Yeah, there's one that absolutely ekes out, and I'm just.
Josh, you hate Central, A&T more than you hate WSSU. Stop playing.
Like
I'm very disappointed that the Fighting Gaither isn't here. I'm just
saying.
I got my boy Steven. I got my boy Steven side.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. I think the school down the highway gets this one. I think the school down the highway gets this one. If they don't get it, man, they ain't. They.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be a long.
Thank you, Josh. It's close. It'll be close. I can live with that.
I concur. No question.
I'm gonna get.
Let's talk about the spread. Come on, sir. Come on.
I'm gonna give you guys this one. It's gonna be closer than y'all think it is.
We covering the spread.
Okay, all right.
What's the spread?
FCS Sportsbook had it at 25.5. We'll easily cover that.
Y'all ain't covering no damn spread against them.
Already.
You're not beating us by 25 points. You're not beating us by 25 points. No. And
25.5?
Zach thinks it should be 40. You're not beating us by that many points. Historically speaking, this loss could show us how good we could be if we lose the game. And if we win the game, there's a good chance we're going to win the CIAA championship. There's a good chance. Now, of course, this is not your mama's A&T. It's not your daddy's A&T. But there's a good chance we could win the CIAA championship. But 25 points is a bit much. 40 is sure as hell too much. Relax. Again, y'all are giving A&T a lot of credit. A lot. Too much. So that's what they're saying about us around the country, WSSU. They think because North Carolina, A&T put together a couple first downs, they scored a touchdown, they hung with Wake Forest for a half, that they're just going to come out there and they're going to beat us worse than they got beat last week. I get it. It's always been a disadvantage. Even before there was D1 and D2, North Carolina A&T, they're the farm school. Give us a little history lesson. They're the farm school, 1891, Greensboro, agricultural, right? It's big field hands, agricultural. That is their background. That is who they are. We, Slater Normal, transitioned to teachers college, a 7-to-1 women to men ratio. Great for the men, not so great for the football team. So they've always had an advantage on the football field. It shows in the overall record. It took us a long time, but since Bill Hayes showed up at 601 South Martin Luther King Jr. Drive, and I'm guessing that wasn't the name of it back then, this rivalry has been much closer. We have had bouts, we have had streaks, they've had bouts, they've had streaks. And so we've had bouts, they've had streaks. And I'll be real. Again, I'm a journalist, a sports journalist. My credibility means a lot to me. I'll be honest. We think about it. Again, we have not played them since 2010. 2010 was our first year transitioning back to D2. Again, the previous 4 years when we played them, we were provisional members of the MEAC. We won 2, they won 2. We won that 5th game, and then after that, depending on who you ask, certain people in administration decided they didn't want to play us anymore. We know they weren't trying to give us the money. They're still not really trying to give us the money. They got a great deal, to be honest, if you ask me anyway. But it is what it is. So, again, having spent the last decade and a half of my career covering HBCUs and these 2 programs quite closely, I'll be honest. 2011, if we play them, we beat them. 2012, if we play them, we beat them. 2013 is where it starts to get interesting. 2013, it starts to get interesting. A&T's getting better. Winston lost a lot of key players, but we still have Carlos Fields. I still give Winston the edge in 2013. 2014, a true toss-up year. That is the year that A&T really started to break through under Coach Rod Broadway, and that's a toss-up year. Maybe it's biased, but I'd lean still towards WSSU. It's hard to bet against Tariq Cohen, though. 2015, 2016, I think those games would still be close, but I think A&T wins. Now, from 2017, 18, 19 to the pandemic, even 21 and 22, A&T has those years. We have been mediocre to just plain bad. And so now the rivalry is renewing. We're going to play this year. There's rumors that we're going to play again, maybe soon after that. Really exciting times, though. Really excited about this. This is the one that I really get up for, that I really care about. I can't lie. Most of the times I can play it cool, but I can't lie. There are still tickets that are for sale for this game as of Thursday morning. Go to ticketreturn.com. I'll try to drop the link in there because, again, what happened was we sold out of our allotment of tickets, but we only got 300. So A&T sold the rest of the tickets. So there are still tickets available at this point, but I would not wait much longer. I wouldn't, because I anticipate this. The last 3 times that they played us, they have had sellouts. And as I stated before in a previous article, they have only had 4 non-homecoming sellouts since 2000. 3 of them have been us, the 3 games that they played us. So this should be a big game. This should be a good game. I'm expecting a close, competitive game. I would love for WSSU to win. Trust me, I would love for them to win because there's nothing that I enjoy doing better than getting under the skin of Aggies. Their arrogance, their pomposity, their nose in the air when you mention our homecoming or you mention anything else about our school, it just gets under my skin. It just does a little something to me that nobody else does. Nobody does. They like to feel like they're special, and they are special in that way. They especially get under the skin of myself and many others. But the game is going to be back. Hopefully, it's going to be a sellout. We'd love for WSSU to get the win. I would, run with the ball as long as I could with that. But even if they don't win, the realist in me has said, even if they don't win, they keep it close. History says they're in for probably a pretty good season. So we shall see. They're the D1 program. They got all the pressure on them. They have all the scholarships. We got 24, 25. They got at least 60, 63. So you do the math, you do the numbers. But should be a great game. I'm looking forward to getting out there and checking it out. Let me know if you're in the comments, if you're going to be there. And I hope to see some folks out there talking the tailgate, all that good stuff. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. WSSU Ram Nation. Nobody else that I'm rather rock with than the Rams. Let's go. Let's do this. Bring your flea spray. Bring your muzzles. And let's get ready to walk out of Aggie BB&T Truist Stadium with a win. CIAA over CAA any day. And I am out.